Today we're going to talk about the 5 playstyle pluses I think you absolutely must have in your team, or at least can get as many of these in there as possible. I'll kind of walk through each one and why each one is so good today. But yeah, there's a lot of great playstyles. We'll talk about some of them. Technical plus, very, very good. It does not make the top 5 of this video. There are other fantastic playstyles. Anticipate plus as well does not make this video, but it is fantastic. And I'll make another video soon with kind of maybe a tier list of all of these. But today I want to talk about the 5 I think that you really need to have in your team. Otherwise, you're kind of trolling, honestly. But all right, subscribe if you're new for daily uploads, all that kind of stuff. And Drogba and Hansen they're not here. They dipped out before the video began. This game is broken. But okay, let's not waste any more time. Let's begin. If you guys want to buy coins, you can go to mmoxp.com. The link is in the description. Use my code JFC at checkout for a 5% discount. The number 1 playstyle plus is going to be no surprise to almost any of you, but maybe, it is a little bit because it did get nerfed at one point this year. Number 1's Finesse Shot Plus. Finesse Shot Plus to me is a must-have in your team. I don't care where it is. I thought this might happen this year where the shooting playstyles would be just so much better than the rest because shooting is one of the most important things in FIFA because you need to score goals to win. So put the ball in the back of the net consistently. You kind of got to have some really good shooting mechanics and good scores on your team. Well, Finesse Shot Plus will do that, and it's fantastic. Now, I will say a couple tips with this, though. There's been a couple players this year where I couldn't get the Finesse Shot Plus down with them too much, and some players where I really easily can. I think there's one thing I've noticed a little bit that could possibly be the culprit for that. One is curve. I think still having high curve is very important on a Finesse Shot Plus player. And also long shots. I think long shots and curve you definitely want to look out for if you're going to take finesse shots outside of the box. But outside of that, Finesse Shot Plus is fantastic. You got to have in your team, in my opinion. It's an absolute must. Number 2 will actually be another shooting play style that people will kind of maybe sleep on a little bit. People love Finesse Shot. Trivela Plus, which is not in this video, by the way. Still pretty good play style, though. The one that will be in this video, though, is going to be Power Shot Plus. Power Shot Plus is ridiculous in this game. People are just starting to kind of realize that now with this Werner SPC, actually. There hasn't been too many, overly used cards this year with the Power Shot Plus, but yeah, a 5-star week for Power Shot Plus player is not fair. I've loved Bobby Charlton all year. This Timo Werner card I just used for a couple games here. It's been fantastic to start with. If you can get it just an inch of space with Power Shot Plus, any kind of space, it is over. And if you can get the aim down, then it's perfect. It might take you just a little bit to get that aim down perfectly. I actually remember at the start of this year, it took me a while to actually get used to Power Shot Plus. I was kind of inaccurate with it a little bit, but then I got used to it and it became incredible. So give it a little bit of a chance. If you struggle with it right away and you kind of, getting a lot of them saved or you're putting some wide, I would keep going at it. Only tips I can say here is increase in shot power to me has been a really big help with Power Shot Plus. If they have crazy shot power, then it's like a guarantee the ball's going in. If they have lower shot power in Power Shot Plus, which usually it's pretty rare to find that, it can be a little bit more difficult. But okay, number 3 is going to be one that is kind of a choice between 2 play styles, but one of them to me is an absolute must in your team somewhere. And the first one is going to be Incisive Pass Plus. And you can choose between Incisive Pass Plus or Long Ball Pass Plus. Now, for me personally, I actually love Incisive Pass a little bit more than I do Long Ball Pass. And it kind of fits in my playstyle a little bit more. I will say, though, put one of them in your midfield somewhere, maybe even multiple, ideally. It's a must-have. Incisive Pass for me is basically, I could not figure out how to get in behind anybody's defense until I started using this because the AI defense in this game, obviously, is extremely overpowered. Everyone's got Maldini and Van Dijk, and Incisive Pass Plus allows you to actually make through balls in between the center backs and the full backs, which you pretty much can't do unless you have Incisive Pass or Incisive Pass Plus. And Long Ball Pass can kind of do a similar thing, right? But yeah, it's a game changer. It allows me to actually play fast this year, at least to a certain extent, because it is tough to play fast in this year's game. But I'll say for Incisive Pass, the stats that you want to look for, actually vision, very important piece of the Incisive Pass Plus puzzle. Say that 3 times fast. But I've noticed a huge amount here with this playstyle is that, by the way, Sessignon has 134 assists and probably more like 200 games, got about 100 as a sub, and that is like crazy for just one card in the team to have that from midfield, and from some games at left back having 130 assists in 200 games or so, because just the short pass 96, vision 95, it is incredible with Incisive Pass. So yeah, I think it's a must-have. Long Ball Pass, I would look maybe toward long pass a little bit more. Incisive Pass, you can kind of get away with the long pass being a little bit lower, like 82 there, but with long ball, maybe you'd want that to be more like 92 minimum, honestly, I would say. Number 4 is one that's kind of making the rounds a little bit more more now and kind of gaining more traction, and that is Aerial Plus. Aerial Plus is kind of a cheat code in this game. I think it's kind of a matter of time until it gets nerfed. I'm going to kind of make a prediction right now saying Aerial Plus probably gets nerfed relatively soon once people figure out that it is extremely good. Basically just allows you to win every header for the most part. You know, you can be playing against an Aerial Plus center back and that sort of evens the odds a little bit, but if they don't have Aerial Plus as a center back or a fullback, I mean, the likelihood of them winning the header is extremely low. So if you just head it up to any of your Aerial Plus players, you pretty much have a free break of the press, which is one of the biggest uses of this. It's not actually to even score goals with it. It's actually to just press square to one of your strikers with Aerial Plus and then head it on and break the press completely. That's one of the most OP ways to use this. And also you can cross it in with the number 5 playstyle that we'll talk about in a sec to an Aerial Plus player and then pass it down in the box and get a free shot on goal. So Aerial Plus is one that is kind of underrated, but becoming less underrated as time goes on here. And the stats you maybe want to look out for with this is going to be jumping for one, for sure. There's really only 3 that matter. It's jumping, strength, and heading accuracy. And that's pretty much all that matters with the Aerial Plus playstyle. I haven't noticed aggression doing anything because Drogba has Aerial Plus and he's actually only 6'2", and some of the other Aerial Plus players have like a few more inches on him. But because he has crazy jumping, I think it doesn't matter. He's 6'2" and he wins every header. So Drogba is in this team, and I didn't realize how much I'd like him until I realized how good Aerial Plus is. And I would honestly start to recommend you really use one in your team and just see if you like it. Yes, it might not work for you, but it could really transform your game. Honestly, it could. Please ignore the voice crack. Last but not least, it is going to be Whipped Pass Plus. This is one that many people have known for a while now is obviously a great play style. But the reason I put it here is because of 1, Aerial Plus being so good. And 2, if you use attacking fullbacks at all, which the best way to attack in this game is using attacking fullbacks. By that, I mean, you know, your right back or left back, having them come forward a little bit. It's one of the best ways to attack in this game because they just run back for you on defense. The auto AI does all the work for you. So you can have, you know, less numbers than you usually would want to in defense and have some of those guys going forward. So Whipped Pass Plus for me is one I need in my team, pretty much in both spots. In my squad right now, I have Michael Laudrup, who has Whipped Pass Plus. The stats I would look for here is really just crossing and curve, maybe. And outside of that, I mean, Laudrup's crosses are perfect with 86 crossing, so I don't really notice any problem with mid-80s, I suppose. But then Sessegnon here has the regular Whip Pass, and that kind of is good enough for me. Whip Pass Plus is still better, but Whip Pass regular still works for me. So obviously most of the great left backs have Whip Pass Plus, so you guys don't really need to worry about that, but I would get both of them honestly with Whip Pass Plus because it's just so good. And to me, it's almost like any play style, any formation, it's useful. So it's, you know, there's some play styles where like, you know, Intercept Plus may be a must, or Anticipate Plus might be more of a necessity, but to me, speaking in a very broad sense, Whip Pass is probably going to be your best shout, and I do think you kind of need it somewhere. It's just so good. But yeah, obviously there's playstyles like First Touch, Press Proven, Intercept. They're very, very good. I don't think they're necessarily must-haves in your team, but if you'd like to see a full tier list, we'll probably do that very soon on the channel. So yeah, what do you guys think is the must-haves for you? You know, it can change from person to person. These are just my must-haves personally. I think you're probably going to think around the same thing. Thanks for watching. I love you all. See you in this video very soon. Peace.